Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome. I am here today with a message that feels very, I don't want to say urgent. It's not really urgent. This energy might be perceived as urgency, but actually it's like this build-up energy that just cannot be contained any longer. Yeah, this feels right. This is what it's kind of showing me. And so what this message is about, and I kind of have a feeling what's going to come out, but at the same time, I feel like I have to speak the message in order to being able to access all the information. Oh, and this is so interesting. Okay. This is already part of the message. All right. I'm trying to get some structure in here. This is about a mirrored relationship, and I mean I will put that in the description and the title so you'll know. This is about some kind of soul connection. I don't want to get hung up on labels because I know the person this message is for, you are done with labels. There might have been a time when you labeled this relationship as probably a twin flame connection or divine counterpart, or maybe you even thought it was a karmic twin or whatever. I don't know what your journey was, and I can tell that it doesn't matter. That there are, like, each person has their own unique story. So none of that really, it keeps coming out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your story is. What matters is the energy beneath it. And what is so what is true for you on your journey? Like I said, it doesn't matter how you labeled it at some given time point in your timeline. There was this connection, and it was a deeply felt connection. It doesn't even matter if you had like a longer ongoing relationship, if you've been in contact or not, if it maybe was just like a short meeting or several weeks, months, maybe even years that you've known this person. All of that doesn't matter. Like I said, there's so many storylines out there. And those storylines, they speak to your personal journey and your personal, I don't like the word mission. It comes through. So your personal mission on Earth. And so your storyline is a reflection of what your soul came here to heal out of and to transform. But the underlying energy is the same for all of those people this message is meant for. And the underlying energy is that at some point you met somebody and it was a highly transformative meeting. And it was so deeply transformative that it completely changed your entire life, the entire course of the direction your life was going, and you've been initiated through this meeting, through this connection. You've been initiated in your deeper purpose. And you know this, all of this, you know this. Like I said, you've been a while on this journey, and you've been through. I hear you've jumped through all the hoops. You've jumped through all of them. You passed so many tests you can't even count them anymore. And you know that, like I said before, you're done with the labels. Let me just get a sip of my coffee. I was actually sitting down, picking up a book, starting to read, drinking my coffee, when suddenly this wave of energy came through. And I felt this forward movement and this need to record this energy. If you've seen any of the other videos I've been recording over the last few days, weeks, you can tell that my energy is so different today. I am very like in this forward moving energy. And I feel like, no, I I can tell that this is part of what this connection is going through right now. This energy that's coming through and forward in this very disruptive way is what you've been experiencing in your connection. Like I said, you've gone through a deep transformation. You passed all the tests there are. You've gone through like the typical stages everybody talks about when you are in this kind of journey. You've healed out of the needing energy, the push-pull energy, the longing, the desiring, the all the abandonment, wounds, and all the, if you've done the work. And I keep saying this phrase on this channel, like, you've done the work. And this is like, I can tell that the collective I'm channeling for, you are, like I said, you've done the work. You are highly evolved. And sorry for me like jumping around, but that is part of the energy that I'm picking up. Like, I'm always like, the energy I'm putting forward in my videos, this is always the energy I'm picking up on. I'm channeling. So this is what's coming through. And it's always a mirror of the energy itself. Right, so they are bringing me back to the mirror aspect, because I can tell that because you've been doing all the work and you you've done your work and you are done with the labels, with trying to put this thing into a box. And you are so ready to move on, and you can probably tell that something is already happening, that something is already starting to move. If you haven't, my guides are saying, like, if you haven't, it will pick up soon. We are all on like different like points on this bigger timeline. I'm sorry, sometimes it's hard to translate what I'm seeing in my head or what I'm picking up in the energy. So I'm picking up on this collective, or a certain stream in a way bigger collective, that is kind of like, we've entered a certain timeline, and it's unstoppable now. And it doesn't really matter if you're at like the forefront or maybe like somewhere in the middle or more in the back. It doesn't matter. You are in this okay, now they're showing me like this roller coaster, and I don't know how to say this in English, but you're like on the train, like on this vehicle that's going on the roller coaster, and like we all know, it can very much feel like a roller coaster sometimes. All right, can I get some structure here, please? It's a little bit all over the place. Okay, they're saying it needs to be like that. Oh, okay. All right. So you're probably you're like in those mirror connections, we have those polarized energies, right? We have one that is more bringing forward more of the masculine energy, and the other part is bringing more forward of the feminine energy. And you're probably on the feminine side. Maybe not. Maybe you're a masculine and you're just like experiencing or like working on your own inner feminine, or on like your inner feminine masculine dynamics. But I'm picking up, like, I can tell that the masculine energy, it's the one that is so present. It's the one that's like bringing forward this movement energy. But I'm also picking up on the feminine that is this, like I said, this feeling of sometimes like asking the universe, like, what do you want? I don't get it. Like I've done everything. Why is it so? It seems impossible to let go. I want to move on. I got my shit together. What else is there to do? I don't get it. Yeah, I just see those huge question marks, and to be honest, I see them on both sides. Of course I do see them on both sides. It's a mirrored connection. So actually it's not just the feminine or the... Like, I'm picking up on both. They're both. So the feminine brings forth more of a very calm, collected, surrendered, and yeah, like this, I've done the work. I don't know what else to do, and I don't get it. Why is it still, why it keeps coming up? Why? And the masculine, he's asking, like, it's the other coin, other side of the coin. He's also asking why. But he's struggling with a deeper understanding of, like, the feminine is, that's like, you've done the work, you've worked through all of this, like this knowing what this connection is, and this journey beginning with the, like, trying to understand what you experienced, then I hear over-identifying with labels for a while, which is part of the process and totally normal. And it's meant to be like that. It's part of the healing journey. Then you've overcome this whole label thing, and you've come into a deeper understanding, and also like surrendering to whatever this connection is. I know that I cannot get rid of it. Maybe you don't even want to get rid of it, although I feel like some of you would rather, at some point in your journey, you'd rather get rid of it, because it can be quite exhausting. Yeah, it can be. But you've also learned that usually, like, you only exhaust yourself when you are in resistance to it. When you come into acceptance and surrender, it's easier to work with it, and you even find the value in it. And you know that you've grown so much with this connection, that, like, you would not have been able to do that without this incredibly powerful mirror. That's like the other person, they are holding up this mirror for you. And you learned how to work with that. In a very, like, I can tell that there's a pretty big guide collective here, and they're saying it's really like they're full of admiration for how you managed to do that, and how you've grown, and what you've learned, and how you integrated all the lessons that were in there. And this is something that's really, it's a huge task to do that. It's a huge endeavor. And I know this sounds so cliche, but only the strongest souls take on that kind of, there it is again, mission. It really is a mission. Okay, so they're bringing me back to the why, this huge question of why. Yeah, so the feminine, they got into, like, they do understand the connection on an energetic level. And you know that this is quite out of the ordinary. You know that this is meant there to heal you, to transform you. For the longest time, you had this idea in your head about, like, this is it, like, this is the perfect counterpart for me. And you wished for a romantic connection, but you also, like, learned in the process to respect and value yourself so much that you were not willing to give yourself up for this dream of a romantic relationship. The masculine, on the other hand, I can tell they've been in denial for quite a while. Mostly because they were not able to make sense of it. And this is a very, very most masculines are, but he's very much driven by logic. And when I say he, of course, like, this, it doesn't refer to gender, it's just how language works. Like, this masculine is very, very much in the head, very strong on logic, thinking things through, like, turning every stone and trying to make sense of it all. And it sometimes is a way of bypassing the heart, bypassing their emotions by trying to make sense of it through logic. But by the way, I can tell that the energy is coming down a little bit. It's calmer now. So the question why is for both sides very prominent. Why am I not able to let go? The feminine, because she's like, I've done the work. I've let go so many times, and I'm really able to. No, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready to move on, but somehow I'm still not able to. And the guides here, they're saying there are two things in here. Firstly, like they said before, you came down here with a certain mission. You wanted to achieve something. And in order to achieve it, you had to become a certain version of yourself. And especially you had to clear out a certain cycle, a karmic cycle that ran through your own life. But of course, like it's so much bigger. It's a cycle that was like in your family for generations, for so many generations. So you took on the challenge of healing that. And because we are living in a polarized universe, the most effective way to heal and to work with energy is by working with your opposite, meaning your mirror. And when you look back at your life, you will see that there have been, like that all of your relationships or most of your relationships have been those very, very strong mirrors for you. And there's this phenomenon that, the universe is holding up mirrors for us. And we are going through like all the lessons, and some of those energies are so deeply ingrained in ourselves that it's not just one lesson we have to go through, but it's the same lesson, but on so many different levels. And when you look back, you can probably see that with each person, connection, relationship that entered your life and held up this mirror for you, the mirror got more intense. And this certain soul connection that we are talking about here, they are like they've been the most intense, and it's like a culmination of the energy. It's like, okay, you've went through so many preparation lessons until you were ready to meet your final lesson, and that was this connection I'm talking about here. And they were like the master course, you could say. Getting cold. Yay. Yeah, right. So this is the master lesson. And it was needed, and all the intensity was needed in order to push you into this highest possible version of yourself. And you know how many times you've been pushed to what felt like the absolute edge of what's possible for you. And I feel like you've grown out of that. Like you're out of the, what do you say, the thick of it? Something like that. But this is why it's so confusing for you, because you know that you've healed so much. You know that you've healed out of the worst. And you can probably already tell that things are on the way, or at least you've got the feeling that things are on the way, or you can already see that things are starting to move in your favor and in the direction that you want to go. But they still keep showing up. And it doesn't matter if it's in the physical or if it's purely energetic, like in your dreams, in your thoughts. Maybe you can just, like, you're just, I don't know, taking a stroll in the park, and suddenly out of nowhere there comes this wave of their energy, and you know their energy, so you can tell that it's them. And even though it doesn't make you like feel all those intense emotions of longing and needing and spiraling that you've had in the past, they're still present, and you can tell that you still are not completely free of their energy, which means that you're not completely free to move on. And the guides are saying, like, for one, as long as you can see them and as long as they're holding up a mirror for you, there's still something to learn for you. And I think most of you have come to terms with the fact that they will be probably there for the rest of your life. No matter if you if you have them in your physical life, but you know that they are part of you. You know that they are like that you have this very, very unique soul bond. And that they will just like always be there. And you've come to terms with that. You've accepted the fact. And I think, I'm not sure if this, like the second part of the why is for everybody, but I feel like probably like you're probably a match for that when you're a match to this message. Why I'm feeling some uncertainty or indecisiveness about this. Okay, so this is more on the masculine part. They are still, like I said, they are hung up on the why, and they are still trying to make sense of it all. And they are not quite sure what kind of like they're having a little bit more trouble to just accept this as an energetic connection. And something is unresolved in the physical. Something is left unsaid, left undone. There's something they need to say. And okay, this is why I felt this interruptive energy, this pushing forward, this I need to speak. And like I said, I could tell while I was talking, the energy came down. And in order to feel peace, And in order to move on from this this initiation phase, to wrap it up, there still needs to be something said or done in the physical. It feels very physical. Like, hang in there for a second. I'm not quite sure what I'm picking up on now. There's suddenly, like, when I said that, there was suddenly like this blank. Oh, okay. All right. There's an imbalance. It seems like that the feminine part they've put out some kind of physical action. Maybe you said something, maybe you maybe something in written form, like you've put out some kind of statement that wasn't reciprocated in the physical. And there is the need for some kind of answer in order to balance out the energy, in order to even it out. And after that, there's a clean slate. This is like the blankness I just had. Like there was this nothingness. And what this will create a neutral energy. And this is basically the perfect balancing out of the masculine and the feminine energy, which is in a union. And in a union creates a third space, which is pretty much neutral. It's like they have overcome the polarization and came into harmony, into union, into this completely unpolarized state. And from this state, you are able to make that's weird. I heard you're able to make an informed decision. That's weird. Oh, okay. So the masculine is looking for answers. But what my guides are saying is they won't be able to find the answers just by thinking and ruminating about them. They have to go into the action. They have to even it out. And when they do, they will understand. So then they can make an informed decision. And this has to do with that they don't know what's going on the other side. They don't know what, like they might have their ideas they're putting on, like they are projecting fears, ideas, worries, whatever, projecting forth onto the other part. And this will only be resolved by going to the other party, saying the damn thing, and then just receiving the truth, seeing the truth, knowing the truth. So there was something else I could feel in the energy, and I'm wondering if I'm still supposed to talk about that. Spirit? Okay. So there is this pending question of, can this still be a relationship? I hear, is this something that's supposed to be? And my guides are saying, like, you have this beautiful gift of free choice. So no, this is not something that's supposed to be, but it's something that can be if you choose to. And what they want you to understand, and this also plays into the question of the why. Why is this connection still here? And why do they keep coming back up? And yes, it's a mirror for me, and yes, I can work with it, but I feel like I've actually made my peace with it, and I maybe would like to move on, maybe with another person, because I do desire a relationship. I do desire someone I can have this co-creative, balanced, beautiful relationship with, that I know I'm ready for it. And so they are saying that we have to understand that this is something our soul has been working on for lifetimes. And this, like, the kind of relationship that you are looking for is a high... What? It needs two highly evolved beings to come together in the kind of relationship that you are looking for, because you're not looking for like your typical relationship. Like, you don't really care about being in a relationship. You want to be in a co-creative, sacred union kind of relationship. Partnership. Yes, you want to be in a partnership with somebody who's as highly evolved as you are. And my guides are saying that you've put in a lot of energy and effort and work into this connection, not just in this lifetime, but many, many lifetimes before that. And that this is part of the reason why it's been hard for you to let go, because you felt like, I put in so much energy, I need to get something back out of it at some point, because you understand how energy works. And I actually made another video about the topic of self-sacrifice and putting in energy, and getting like not getting out of it what you quote unquote deserve, or you think you deserve. I'll link it up here somewhere. But so this took me out just for a second. Can I please be put back in? All right, sorry, it took me a second there. I was completely taken out of it. Yeah, it took me a moment to get back in. So yeah, you've put in so much work, and you felt like at some point I don't want it all to be for like nothing. And the universe is saying, or no, like the guides are saying, it's not impossible that you attract a different body that brings forward a matching energy. But at the same time, you've put in so much energy and work and effort in this relationship that they're saying it's been built to last. And it just takes a lot to build something like that. And while it sometimes feels to you like your end goal was the relationship, it wasn't. And you know that by now. Like I said, like it was your perfect mirror in order to heal out of a certain cycle. And now I hear it, but that's not all. It's like, this is not the end. This can be a new beginning. And this is what you were hoping for, especially like in the earlier stages. And this is not in this is not to put you back into this hoping energy, because yes, it is. Okay, so they're saying yes, it is. It is to put you back into the hoping energy and to see what's still there. Because, okay, now I understand where this is going. Because as long as you hold on to something, there's still something there for you. If you keep on holding on to a relationship and you cannot let go of it completely, that means there is still something there for you. And in order to finally come to this level playing field where you are in this neutral energy, where you can make, and now it comes through as a decision that feels true to you, that feels aligned for you and your path forward, you need to go into the hope. You need to go into the energy where you feel like there's still something there for me, because otherwise I would not be holding on to it. There is still a mirror for you. Even if you feel like I've let go and I'm ready to move on, if the outer world is mirroring back to you that, like, this outer world is still not matching up for you. It's not completely syncing up with what you're experiencing inside. This means that they are still in the function of your mirror. and you need to find out what they are trying to show you. And the tricky thing is, like, the further you move along on this path, the harder it gets to see because you feel so much. And now it's like it's getting into the... Like, you have to dig really, 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 really deep to find those last bits of residual energy and core beliefs. And while you've done like the biggest part of it, you need to be thorough. You really need to be thorough. And understand that this whole connection is like, there's a reason why your soul chose to do this and to invest this much into it. And don't give up before it's really over, before you really, and you'll know it. You'll know when you reach the point, like this zero ground, this 0 point of, okay, and now I can make, now I can really make this choice of what am I going to do in the physical with all of this. All right, so yeah, that's it. I feel like that's it. I'm sorry if it was a little bit like if I was running in circles and a little bit confusing at some point in the reading, but that's pretty much like this energy. It's this running in circles and not really you have to sometimes, even when you feel like you're running in circles, you have to keep on looking for the answers. You have to keep on digging. You have to because this is not... Okay, so this is like the last bit of information or advice that's coming through. As long as you keep running in circles, you're not done. But this reading is done now. I just heard but we're done here now. Okay. All right. I hope this finds you well, and that you could learn something from it or gain some clarity or whatever. I'd love to hear from you. And maybe to like the video if it helped you, or even leave a follow. That would be nice too. Yeah, I wish you all the best with it, and hopefully see you in the next video. Take care.